Hey, ZeroEmpires here. The Blacksmith can be a source of confusion for many new players, especially when it's not always immediately obvious which upgrades to get for what units. In this video, I'm going to cover all of the upgrades and show which units they affect. There are 5 categories of Blacksmith upgrade. Each has 3 tiers that unlock with the Feudal, Castle and Imperial Age. There are 3 upgrades for defense and 2 upgrades for attack. Starting with defense, we have mail armor, which is for infantry, barding armor, which is for cavalry, and archer armor, which is for ranged units. These armor upgrades will increase the armor rating for their corresponding unit types. This is represented by the plus number shown next to a unit's armor stats. This is an arbalest with plus 2 armor, so we know that this player has researched padded archer armor and leather archer armor. Armor is split into 2 types, melee armor and pierce armor. These are the 2 primary attack styles in Age of Empires 2, and the corresponding armor reduces the damage taken from each type of attack. This plumed archer, for example, has 0 resistance to melee damage and 1 reduction to range damage. So if a projectile hits the plumed archer that does 10 damage, the actual damage the plumed archer would take is 9. But if it gets whacked by a sword, it would take the whole 10. This brings us to the attack upgrades. As there are 2 primary types of attack, there are only 2 attack upgrade categories. You guessed it, one for melee and one for ranged. The melee upgrade is for infantry and cavalry and consists of forging, iron casting and blast furnace. Each give an additional attack damage, with blast furnace giving 2 extra attack instead of 1. The archer upgrade, on the other hand, gives both attack and range improvements, with fletching, bodkin arrow and bracer all increasing attack and range by 1. So it sounds simple, but it's not that straightforward. What about conquistadors? Do they get cavalry armor and fletching because they're both ranged and cavalry? The answer is no, to both. What about ballista elephants, or elephant archers, or throwing axemen? I made this in-game diagram to group all of the units together. Let's go through it now and learn the different unit types. Let's first go through the armors. The leftmost row all benefit from cavalry armor. This includes elephants, which are classed as cavalry in Age of Empires 2. The middle row are all affected by infantry armor, and the last row are all affected by archer armor, with the exception of the organ gun, which cannot have its armor upgraded. This is simple enough, but notice there are some cavalry units in the archer armor category. Generally, if a unit is mounted but also attacks at range, then it takes archer armor. These units are classed as cavalry archers, but the archer part takes priority. So the Mangudai, elephant archer, conquistador, etc. all use the archer armor upgrades. So now let's see the attack upgrades. On the left and middle, the melee attack upgrades. But Zach, you said that if a unit is mounted and it attacks at range, then it's an archer. Yes, but also no. In the case of the Mameluke, throwing axemen and Gabeto, this isn't the case. These 3 are an exception to the rule, since their projectiles are melee weapons. The Mameluke throws swords, the axeman axes, and the Gabeto throws hunting knives. Hence, they all use melee attack upgrades. The only unit that doesn't get an attack upgrade here is the ballista elephant, which is technically a cavalry siege unit, and so cannot have its attack improved by the blacksmith, just like all the other siege weaponry in the game. Finally, the ranged upgrade, which only affects these guys in the middle. Gunpowder units can't have their attack or range upgraded by fletching and the like, because, well, they're guns, and that just wouldn't make any sense. The Arambai, on the other hand, throws darts, but for balance reasons, it does get excluded still. The poor organ gun gets left out and doesn't benefit from any blacksmith upgrades at all. It's technically a siege unit, and as we know, siege cannot be upgraded from the blacksmith. Interestingly, the war wagon, which fires the exact same projectile as the ballista elephant, not only benefits from a different armor class, but also gets fletching while the ballista elephant does not. I told you it was confusing. Before I head off, I'm going to quickly cover boats and buildings. For boats, there's only one blacksmith upgrade that matters, and that's the range attack upgrade. Galleys, longboats, and caravels can all have their attack and range improved by fletching. Fire ships, demolition ships, and turtle ships, and even cannon galleons do not benefit at all from this technology. Buildings can also benefit from fletching, with castles, towers, and town centres all gaining additional attack damage. Town centres, however, do not gain any additional range, while castles and towers will. This makes fletching a very useful upgrade, even if you don't have a single ranged unit in your army. Anyway, hopefully this reference helps you out. If you like, you can download the screenshot I made in the description, which serves as a handy guide if you ever need it. I just wanted to keep this one short and sweet, so if you enjoyed the video, do subscribe, hit the like, really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.